Hi, my name is Jian and I'm a sophomore at Virginia Commonwealth University. For my project, I wanted to explore the people of my community to see if they know any acknowledgement of history in the Reconstruction era, specifically the 15th Amendment. And later on in my video, I will explain why this is important to know today, and I hope you enjoy! Do you know what the 15th Amendment is?
No.
Do you know what the 15th Amendment is?
No.
Do you know what the 15th Amendment is?
No.
Do you know what the 15th Amendment is?
Sadly, I do not recall. I remember the first 10, but that's about it.
Do you guys know what the 15th Amendment is? No? Do you know what the 15th Amendment is?
No.
Do you know what the 15th Amendment is?
Yes, I do.
Oh, what is it?
15th Amendment?
Yeah.
That states that all laws cannot... Damn it.
Do you know what the 15th Amendment is?
Really?
No. Do you guys know what the 15th Amendment is?
15th Amendment.
No.
No.
I can't say that I do right to bear arms.
No.
That's
No. 15th Amendment?
What's that? What's that?
Do you know what the 15th Amendment is?
No.
Do you know what the 15th Amendment is?
15th? Okay, 14th, yeah. Isn't it? It's not women's right. It's citizenship? Isn't it U.S. citizenship?
No. Do you know what the 15th Amendment is?
It's been a while since I've
The Reconstruction era began when the American Civil War ended in 1865. When the South was defeated, there were many physical, social, economical, and political problems within the southern states. However, their social, political, and economical problems centered around the abolishment of slavery. The 13th Amendment abolished slavery and involuntary servitude, which was a huge problem because a lot of their economic and political system centered around slavery. With slavery being abolished, the Southerners did not know where to turn, and there was a huge need for Reconstruction in the South, hence the name of the Reconstruction era. To ease the transition of slavery and the free people in the South, the Radical Republicans enforced the Freedmen's Bureau in 1865, which allowed free people to find work and land in the South. However, Andrew Johnson was president during the time, and he was a huge Democrat, and he hated the leadership of the South. Andrew Johnson imposed his black codes, which were basically like semi-slavery, and the Radical Republicans were not very happy with him. Through this, the 14th Amendment was born, and it granted equal protection of law and granted citizenship of people who were born in the United States, and the states could not take that right away from you. One of the most crucial amendments for African Americans during the Reconstruction era was the 15th Amendment. The 15th Amendment was ratified in 1870. It granted African Americans the right to vote. However, the Southern Democrats did anything they could to legally prevent the African Americans and the poor white class from voting. Literacy tests became a problem for African Americans because they were not educated enough, and so they could not pass the test in order to vote. Poll taxes became a problem because a lot of African Americans and the lower white class were not rich enough, and they could not afford to pay for votes. Although slavery was abolished, there was a huge issue of segregation and discrimination among the African Americans. Segregation was created in the North in order to maintain the white supremacy, and later was adopted by the South when slavery was abolished. African Americans were segregated from anywhere to restaurants, transportation, school, and public hospitals. African Americans kept fighting through the Reconstruction era and throughout American history. These three amendments would not be recognized until almost a century later. However, they are a huge contribution to all of the Civil Rights Acts and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. The Voting Rights Act of 1965 banned all use of literacy tests. It authorized the U.S. Attorney General to oversee the use of poll taxes in local and state elections. The 15th Amendment has great contribution to what our nation is today, and I wanted to see if people that live in America actually know where all their freedom and rights are coming from and what the foundation of their life basically is today.
the right of citizens
of the United States
to vote shall not be denied or abridged
by the United States or by any state on account of race,
color or previous condition
of servitude.